we guarantee there'll be a break. There'll be time to eat, there'll be time to mingle. All your needs will be met, so please turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off.
All right, everybody on your feet, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Here we go.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah,
Say
yeah.
hello to somebody around you. Here we go.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Did you have coffee during the break? You got wound up, man. Anyway, hi. Never mind. Oh, sorry. Hi. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. Woo! I'm Reverend Laura, and it's great to see you all. And so, those of you who are here for the first time, we want you to know that we are a spiritual community that welcomes all paths to God, all faiths, all paths. We know that there's only one, and there's many paths. So, please join us as we recite who we are, our vision, and our mission. So we are a positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our vision, spiritually awakening and personal growth in a world that works for everyone. Our mission, to help individuals discover the spiritual tools and an inner power that has the ability to transform lives and make the world a better place. Yes, so that's why we come here every week, right? That's who we are. So let's see what's going on. We have a lot going on today. So today, if you haven't been there yet, over in Costa Hall and around outside too, we have some great artists. They're displaying their art, and you can buy them, but you could also enjoy them. Lisa Potencio has done a fabulous job. She has some sparkling apple cider and goodies out there. So please come over there after service and just browse around and see all the beautiful things that are over there. Amazing. We have some very talented people. I want to remind you that Tuesday, I have no class on Tuesday, so please don't show up. And I will resume the following week. I'm going to be with Paul in Santa Fe. We have a leadership council meeting, so I'll be gone next week. And then the Rainbow Alliance, they're going to have the Improvables here on Saturday, May 20th. So if you want a really fun event with some very talented people, please join them. It's a suggested love offering of $10 for a great night of fun and laughter. So you'll want to go, if you have any questions, go out to the Rainbow Alliance table and sign you up, or you can get more information. Tim Kramer's here, who's one of our guides that's taking us to Australia and New Zealand. And William, you have a little slide? You don't have a little slide. A video, I mean. No video either? Okay, Tim's here though. So Tim will tell you, I found out about stuff about our trip that I didn't know myself and I'm really excited about. So this is Tim Kramer. He is one of our guides that goes with us and takes such good care of us when we're on our tour. So Tim.
Hey guys. So we are Spirit Tours. It's a small family-run operation. My sister, my father, and I. We've been taking people around the world since 2002. We started in Bali with these guys, then Machu Picchu in Peru, and now we're going to go to Australia and New Zealand. Before we go into that, the premise of our company is to take small groups of spiritually like-minded individuals to destinations around the world focused on just authentic and intimate experiences. So really getting into the back roads of places that we go and exploring that and giving that to you guys, all the while letting these guys do what they do best and intertwine a spiritual significance to the itinerary. So we're going to be going to Sydney, starting off flying into the Sydney Harbor. We're going to do a couple days there, and then we're going to go up to the Blue Mountain Ranges. And the Blue Mountain Ranges is very famous for the Aborigines, and it's we're going to go do some nature walks. We're going to sit with some Aborigine elders and really get an essence of what life is like for them. After that, we're going to fly down to Queenstown, Queenstown, New Zealand. That's on the South Island. Keep in mind, it's the southern hemisphere, so it's going to be during the spring. So you'll be coming from, the winter here, the rough winters here in Palm Desert, to a lot of people, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll go to spring. But, yeah, you guys, obviously, that's when you want to be here. But anyways, you go down there. It's beautiful. The South Island, Queenstown, New Zealand, is one of the most picturesque towns in the world. It's on a lake. We'll be there for 4 nights. After that, we're going to get on a bus and go over to Milford Sound. And Milford Sound is one of the famous fjords of the world. Cascading mile-long cliffs down into beautiful, tranquil, crystal blue water with penguins and seals and dolphins. It is amazing. A lot of people go there, but they don't spend the night there. We're going to have the opportunity to spend the night there on a small boat and really just get to experience it at dusk when it's just quiet and wildlife is steaming. I'm going to be right outside. If you guys have any more questions, I do have the video that will be playing on my computer. So if you want to see it in real person, I'll have it out there. And I appreciate your time, and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much.
So looking forward to that trip. It's going to be fabulous. So it's not too late. If you've been on the fence, now's the time to jump off and do it. So I just want to introduce our beautiful singer today, Denise Rosier. I discovered her myself in Temecula one Sunday when I was there speaking, and she is fabulous. She's going to be moving to Colorado Springs, so I'm going to let her tell you about this picture. So Denise, and she has 2 albums out there for sale, and they've both been nominated as Album of the Year. So, she's won awards, and she's just amazing. So let's give her a warm welcome, Denise.
Thank you. This is our final Sunday here in Palm Desert, visiting you as residents of California, but we will be back. We are moving to Colorado Springs. And this picture is, we just got back from Colorado Springs after filming our episode of House Hunters. So we had a really good time just kind of out there finding our dream home. And so stay tuned. Probably in October or January-ish, that episode should be on the air. So yeah, but thank you for having me here with you. I have so loved being with you. And but we'll be back. So yeah.
So, did you find a house on the show? On the show? Oh, all right. Exciting. So we'll get to see your new home.
Oh, Denise, you're up. Come sing for us.
I'm not just here to talk about house hunters, so.
For 25 years, she's had the same job. She's never late. She likes her boss, and just like that, they're letting her go. She drives home, drops her mail on the floor, tries to define her place in the world, and just like that, she's not sure anymore. Lean into the good times, breathe through the pain. Lord, what you can, throw the rest away. Changes will come at the drop of a hat, and it's funny how life is just like that. She's clearing out closets, sorting her life. She finds a crate with her paintings inside, and just like that, she makes a call. She gets a loan, she opens a shop. They're buying her work, she's selling her art. Just like that, just like that. Lean into the good times, breathe through the pain. Learn what you can, throw the rest away. Changes will come at the drop of a hat, and it's funny how life is just like that. She smiles and she says all that gloom and doom was really just life making room. Lean into the good times, breathe through the pain. Learn what you can, throw the rest away. Changes will come at the drop of a hat. So laugh in the sunshine, dance in the rain. There's so much we don't see that comes into play when the world comes to us with a brand new day. It's just like that. It's just like that.
Denise, beautiful. Beautiful, Denise. Beautiful. Let's hear for this band, everybody. They do such a great job for us every week. Happy birthday, Gina. Happy.
Yay! Let's sing
Ready?
happy birthday to Gina.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gina. Happy birthday to you. Are you ready to go to work? I am too. So take a deep breath in. Sigh on the sigh on the exhale. Ah. One more time, deep breath in. Hold it for just a couple seconds. Let's slow her down a little bit. Let's slow down the spinning that takes place in our minds. The need for us to feel like we have to resolve everything in this moment. Let's just put that on hold for just a few moments. Let's get fully present in this room. Which means we just have to let that go for right now. As the thoughts pop up, just tell them you'll catch them later. Let them move through. Concentrate on your breath. Sit up straight. Keep your chin angled up just a little bit. Allow the chair to support you. Bless you. Let's take another deep breath in and exhale out. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my serenity. As within, all around, all I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love, and I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
There is one creative mind, one power, one substance that manifests the reality that I am experiencing. I know that this power is abundant love, abundant peace, abundant joy, and perfect loving spirit. I am a diverse expression of this loving spirit. I am eternally connected to this power. I have the power to create the life that I choose. I am abundance. I am peace. I am love. And I am joy. I am immersed in a field of infinite possibility, an abundance that is ever creating, that is always ready and willing to answer my prayers. I know that my prayers and my thoughts create the reality that I am now experiencing. I let go of any attachment that I have to the solution, knowing that the creative mind has the perfect solution, and it is unfolding in perfect order and at the perfect time. I know that the more that I give and the more that I receive, I attract to myself all the goodness that I give out. I know that my prayers are always answered, that I am living a perfect life of God in this moment. I know that all I have to do is remain awake, alive, and aware to see the solution that is presented to me. And I know that it is a process that is unfolding perfectly. I am so grateful for all the good that is in my life and for all the perfection that is unfolding in my life. I know that I am attracting good as I give good. And I am grateful for God giving me all the things that I now have and for all the things that are now on its way to me. I am so grateful for the people at this center that make it possible for my spiritual growth to continue. Dr. Joe and the people that provide the gorgeous music every week. And for the people that are behind the scenes that make it possible for me to experience this beautiful spiritual moment. I release my word to the law of mind, knowing that it is already done. I let go and let God. If this resonates with you, please join me in saying, "And so it is. Amen."
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that has never been said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that needs to be said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. And I find God when I find myself. And you find God when you find yourself. take a deep breath in. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out peace. I send my peace over the mountain. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Sending out love, sing it out with me. I send my love over the mountains. Come on. I send my love, over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me.
Peace, light, love in me. Peace, light, love in me. Here in the stillness of this quiet hour, sweet words of wisdom fill my ears. Your words like water keep my soul sustained. Let them rain, let them rain. Peace, light, love in me. I hold your breath I rest in knowing you are here. Brighter than 1,000 stars across the sky. How you shine, how you shine. Let's sing it together. Peace, light, love in me. Peace, light, love in me. One more time. Peace, light, love. Peace, light, love in me. Peace, light, and love in me.
Beautiful, Denise. Thank you so much. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. So the title of my talk is Flip today. It's called Flipping from Serious Doubt to Creative Confidence. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah. Thank you. Need a little enthusiasm. What's wrong? What? Oh, video. Oh, before I do that, remember the guy named Keith London? Well, you remember him. When you see his face, let's go ahead. Show him the. What? Oh, remember that guy that came to sing with us a few months back? Okay, remember he was going to go to London? And his name was Keith London? How convenient was that? Hit it, William.
Hey there, everybody. I want to thank you so much to Father Joe and to the whole center for bringing me to London for X Factor. Today I already sang, and I can't say if I made it through or not, but things went really, really well, and I couldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, so thank you for this opportunity. No matter how far I make it, or if I get cut at the next round or whatever, it wouldn't be possible at all without your help. So thank you seriously from the bottom of my heart, and have a great day.
And I don't know if you noticed, he winked when he said he wasn't sure if he was he did make it to the next round, so he's actually going back in 2 days. So yeah, so let's know that he's going to do exactly what we sent him over there to do, and that's win. And then come back and perform a free concert. We'll make a lot of money. Okay. Together, please. My life is my commitment to authenticity, and I give my creative self without reservation. Let's say it again, please. My life is my commitment to authenticity, and I give of my creative self without reservation. So today we're going to tap into some creative ideas. We're going to tap into what it means to be the authentic self, the true self, the self that we were created to be. I mean, I think we were all meant to be creative, and some of us, we don't tap into that. We kind of do our daily life, and we really don't think about too much creative ideas and changing things in our life. So we're going to talk about that today. Mistakes are a fact of life. It is the response to the error that counts. Those who aren't making mistakes probably aren't making anything. Yeah, make you feel better, right? It does make you feel better. I mean, hey, look, mistakes are going to happen, but that shouldn't keep us from trying. We have to make every effort to do something. We have to try something. If you're not making mistakes, chances are you're not trying very hard. And so we're going to make these mistakes. It's common. It's just part of the deal. It's just part of the stepping stones leading to our success. So mistakes are, I read this thing. I live right down from a church, and they have every week they have one of those sayings on the, you know what I'm talking about? And every week I'm always thinking, okay, am I on my way to hell this week? But yet they haven't said that yet, so it's really good. I think I might like them. So it said failure is not making a mistake. Failure is not getting up and trying again. So failure is when you just don't even try anymore. And a lot of people don't even try anymore in their life. They failed. They're like, okay, well, this is just the way life is. This is the way it's supposed to be. No, it's not supposed to be that way. If you have a pulse, you're meant to be creative. If you have a pulse, everybody check for that right there. Okay, if it's beating, if you feel a little pulse, it means you have stuff to do. The universe isn't done with you, all right? Being creative is not about having the fanciest ideas, the most beautiful artistic flair, or even the ability to speak a prayer in a poetic way. Being creative is our nature. I went over to the art show. Please take time to go over to the art show after the service. Amazing stuff over there. Now, I can't draw a stick person proportionately. So when I go over there, part of me feels like, wow, I'm not creative. I don't have that ability to do that. And yet creativity comes in so many different ways. Why, in my mind, do I associate creativity with something artistic? It has nothing to do with it. Creativity is just creating anything and everything. You are constantly creating. Now, here's a question for you. Are you creating something exciting with your life, or are you creating boredom? Because you're using the same energy to create both of them. You're using the same power to create both of them. So being creative is our nature. God moves upon God. I love this. This is the starting point of creation. Every time one conceives an idea, it is God expressing itself. God moves upon God. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I'm going to act upon something, and this act upon itself is God moving upon God? No. Most people don't think that way. But think about it. Where do these ideas come from? They come from this one infinite storehouse of good. We could call it God ideas. It comes from this storehouse of God ideas. So it is God acting upon itself. You are the only way God can act upon itself. We are its ears, its eyes, its nature, its hands. We are it. So whenever we're doing anything, it is the act of God acting upon itself. Now, you probably don't want to say that at Macy's. Hey, you're doing good God acting upon itself. Look at you. You're doing a lot of God acting by charging all that. Okay. You don't want to say that, but I want you to think about, in its purest form, God is acting upon God every time you do something. That's a pretty serious idea. Think about that. Now ask yourself, are you happy with the way God's acting? Are you happy? Ooh. Ooh, no. Are you satisfied? Would you be satisfied that I am God acting upon God? Are you elevating your ideas and your actions to actually meet that mark, to hit that mark? Together, please. My life is my commitment to authenticity, and I give of my creative self without reservation. Spiritual leadership is action, not position. When Laura was talking about how they went to Beaumont and the name of their organization, Child Help, when they took all those people over there, Laura did too, when they took those people over there to volunteer and be part of something bigger, that wasn't about having a title in front of your name. You didn't have to be a licensed practitioner or a minister. You had to show up for life, right? You just had to show up and be there. And those children so appreciated that. That's called spiritual leadership. In fact, you know what? In the absence of spiritual leadership, we spiral. And so right now, what I would like to do is I would like to empower each one of us here to become spiritual leaders of our very own. Because it seems like right now, out in the world, things seem to be a little bit difficult. And I say that every week. I'm waiting for a week for it to go by where it doesn't feel that way. But as long as it's feeling that way, I think we should all be you don't have to have an REV in front of your name or a doctor or a religious science practitioner. No, you just have to, you are a practitioner. You are because you're doing your prayer work. You are a minister because my guess is you're not just keeping this to yourself, you're actually sharing it with other people in a way that will help change their lives. So we are all those ministers. We're all those practitioners. I encourage you to keep doing that because right now I think the world needs us more than ever to stay calm. I liken it this way. Then he said, many times in life we do not have the luxury of waiting around for others to lead. You're right. We don't have time to wait for others outside to lead. We have to be the spiritual leaders. Now that doesn't mean grab a banner. That doesn't mean you don't have to do any of that. You just need to show up for your own life, not being held down by the events that are going on outside your world. Now here's how I liken it in the first service. You know, if you go way down deep in the ocean, just picture yourself going way down deep in the ocean, right? You're way, way down near the floor of the ocean. And there's a hurricane up on top. But down there at the very depth, it doesn't know that. It's very calm. It's very serene. It doesn't know that it's being spun around. It doesn't know that the wind is blowing and the waves are flying around. No, down there. So what I've tried to do lately is when I'm starting to feel like things are getting to me, I have to tell myself to go deeper. And so I put my spiritual scuba gear on. Okay? And I just imagine myself descending and to the place where my insides are no longer being tossed about by the outside. So go down. Go deeper. When things are craziest, that's our invitation to go deeper. Not to flail about on the top, not to get tossed about like a boat on the sea. No, it's our invitation to go even deeper. That doesn't require anything, any spiritual leadership. That requires you to do something. Just imagine that. Imagine yourself putting on spiritual scuba gear and going, wait, I'm going to go deeper. And lately I've had to go deep, deep, right? The thought is a mold. I want to talk about this. The thought is the mold, conviction, the molten substance poured into this mold. One is not complete without the other, and many people make the mistake of using only one of these essential states of consciousness. We think it's okay just to cast the mold. Example, if you wanted to make a candle, William, can we turn the ceiling fans on? Just the fans, not air. If you wanted to make a candle, you'd have a little bit of wax over here, right? And you'd have a mold over here, right? And you'd put the wick in so that's the center, that's the seed. You'd put the wick in so that it would light up. So let's just say you have a mold and you have the wax. What would happen if you never poured the wax in the mold? So if you believe in the spiritual stuff that there's a visualization process, you know how to cast the mold. Sorry, I didn't mean to spit on you. You know how to cast the mold. But the question is, do you know how to pour the spiritual stuff into the mold? Or are you just expecting some spiritual thing to happen that it pours itself in? This is where we miss the mark sometimes. We know how to cast the mold, but what do I use as that molten substance to pour into the mold? What am I using? Thought, prayer, meditation. So, if that's the case, if I'm using my thoughts, right, that's a dangerous substance at times. Because sometimes my thoughts, you don't want to pour into a mold. Because I don't want it to come out into my life experience. So that means I have to be very careful, but I'm the one who has to pour the wax into the mold. I'm the one who has to do the meditation practices, the spiritual practices, learning how to pray. If nothing more, just thinking the right thoughts and actually just visualizing it. Visualizing that invisible stuff being made visible. I don't care if you have to pretend you're making a candle. It doesn't matter what your mind is doing. It just matters that you're focusing on process. Does that make sense? It's a process. All right, next thing. When we consciously use the principle of mind, instead of asking for something, we are accepting something. Instead of hoping that something will happen, we are endeavoring to know that it has happened or is happening. This is a fine point in the science of mind and should not be overlooked. So I'm going to shift you just a little bit. Remember, my goal this year is just to kind of move everybody just a tad bit every week. Remember, we always say, ask and ye shall receive? I want to change that. Accept and you're receiving. Accept. I need to accept, not ask. Because in the asking, there's always, in the back of your mind, there's always this chance of the universe saying no, but a God that you've made up before. But when you accept that it's so, you're actually accepting, and in goes the stuff. That acceptance is the transition of the invisible into the mold. Are you following me? It's a very fine point that gets lost because we always like, asking you shall receive. Before you ask, it is already answered. But now I want to take it just a little bit further because it's not about asking. It's about accepting this as done. When you pour the wax in the mold, what are you expecting? I'm expecting a candle, right? I'm expecting it to come out. I'm not going to say, I don't pour wax into a candle and expect an orange to come out. I'm expecting it to be what I said it is. So I'm accepting it as I pray it. Together, please. My life is my commitment to authenticity, and I give of my creative self without reservation. We cannot escape from the creative power of our thought, and there is no use in trying to do so. All we need to do is to use the law from the right motive. Then we will be free. Then we're going to be free. When I use the right motive, you've been using thought and creative thought your whole life. And some people have created wonderful things, and some people have created wonderful things. They've also simultaneously created a mess. Anybody have a mess? 3 people, 4, okay, good. Happy for you. 5, 6. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, we'll go to lunch. All right. But you can't escape the creative process. Everything you do is a mold and substance. Everything that we do is you're either casting the mold or you're casting or creating substance to put into the mold. Everything we do is one of those two things, and we're doing it constantly. If we don't think highly of our creative prowess, then we will experience a life that feels the same way, like we're not good enough. If I don't have confidence in my creative process, I'm always going to feel like I can't do that. I have to have confidence that it works, that I can point to it and go, I know this works in my life. However, if I live a life that knows we have the potential to create something great, then we will find new ways every day to express that greatness. When you know that you know, then you know that your life changes. When you know that you know, then you know that your life changes. So you have to begin having confidence in your creative process. You've been doing it your whole life. Let's call it out step by step now. Let's call it out and call it what it is. I've been using my creative process my whole life. Say that. I've been using my creative process my whole life. My life is a reflection of my creative process. My life is a reflection of my creative process. I have a lot of work to do. Right? We have work to do. We have work to do. Together, please. My life is my commitment to authenticity, and I give of my creative self without reservation. Being brave and bold in how we claim our truth plays a huge role in how deeply we convince ourselves of these ideas. Brave and bold. Brave and bold. Those are 2 words that sometimes people just don't feel like they're engaging in. But I want you to muster that up. It does take bravery to make a change in your marriage. It takes bravery to change your financial situation, to change your job, to buy a new house, to sell a house, to get into a relationship, to get out of a relationship. It takes bravery to step up to your own dietary habits and the way you're treating your body. It's bravery because you have to face something you don't really want to face sometimes. And so you have to face it being brave and bold. brave and bold. I mean, oh, God, I don't know why I'm telling you the story. I told it the first service. So I love Denise's shoes. Where's Denise? Did she leave? She walked out. She has the best shoes. Did you notice her shoes? Man, I love those shoes. So one day I decided to do something really crazy at work. When I was a flight attendant, there was this woman named Gladys Richards, real tall woman, real big, but she had the best heels ever, and we had the same shoe size. So, Mother, don't listen. Mother, be quiet. My mom's right there. Just kind of close your ears. Turn your hearing aid off, Mom. All right. So one day, Gladys and I are working together, and I looked at her shoes, and I'm like, can we switch shoes? And I'm like, she said, only if you can wear them the whole flight. Now, the flight was from Baltimore to LA, like a 6-hour flight. And she said, I don't think you can make the flight. I'm like, watch me. I put those things on. First of all, I felt incredibly tall. Something came over me, right? And worked the whole flight, and no one knew. No one knew. How would you know to look at somebody's feet when they're working on a beverage cart? You wouldn't know that, right? So, I mean, we just worked it, and I'm like, oh, my God. And I actually worked the whole flight. I mean, not the landing. I didn't want to land on her shoes, but the whole flight. But it's like, I stepped out of something just to say, hey, you know what? I just want to have a little fun in my life. Now, I don't know if that's brave and bold. I thought it was kind of insane, and I have no idea why I told the story to first service, but I thought it was pretty funny that I actually did it. How are you going to be brave and bold in your own life? What are you going to do that's going to knock you out of your comfort zone? How are you going to step into just doing something that's out of your comfort zone? There's got to be one thing you can think of, and it can be a crazy thing. Actually, those crazy things start a bunch of sequencing of crazy things happening, which is fun. But you have to be brave enough to take the first action. You know, you have to be brave enough to take, if you're in rehab, if you're in a program, you had to be brave enough and bold enough to show up for your own life and go, okay, this is a mess, I have to clean this up. Whether it's a relationship, it doesn't matter what it is. Give me any topic you want, and I'll tell you, this would be a brave act in this particular situation. And you know what? What's interesting is I don't even need to tell you what it is. You already know what it is. You know what it is that you really would do. If I said, if you were to be brave in this, what would you do? And I bet almost all of you have an answer to that. And now I'm going to ask you, why aren't you pouring the wax into the mold? If you already know what it is, why aren't you pouring the wax into the mold? I can't even imagine it. That's one of the most damaging phrases we use. And so we can't even use our imagination. I can't even imagine how I'm going to pay the rent or fix my relationship or improve my health. When you say, I can't even imagine it, what kind of wax are you pouring into the mold? Failure, which is a mistake, which isn't the end, right? We talked about it at the beginning, but you're doing something. I want you to say, I can imagine this. I know what I have to do. I feel it intuitively what I have to do. I just have to be brave enough and bold enough to put it in drive and make a move. If you can't imagine it, how can the universe provide it? That's like saying, I can't imagine what I'm supposed to put into the spiritual stuff, the wax. I don't even know what to put in it. Well, so if you don't know what to put in it, what happens when you pour it in the mold? It's just a candle of confusion, a lack of clarity. It's still a candle. It's still a candle. But it doesn't light your path. It just lights up your confusion. It just casts light on the thing that you're not clear about. So something tells me that I know, and I know most of you know what it would be to step into that. We are truly not creatures of circumstance. We are creators of circumstance. You are not a creature of habit. You're a creator of habits. You are not a creature of circumstance. You are a creator of circumstance. You know, when you call yourself a creator, you become, creative. When you call yourself a victim, or you're a victim of this, then you're a victim. Now you're a volunteer. If you know that you know, then now you're a volunteer and not a victim. So you're truly a part of a you're not a creature of habit. If you are, who created the habits? Who can change them? The patterns, all of this. It's all self-discovery. The imagination that predicts a horrible future is literally the one that could be imagining a beautiful one. Remember how I always say that projecting into what you think might happen could be really horrible, and so you continue to just concentrate on that, and that's where I'm fixated on just the fear of what is going to unfold and the fear of the condition and what could possibly happen. That's what the imagination can do. It can do two things. It can be creative. It can also be destructive. So you are one thought away from changing the outcome. You're not 500 thoughts. You might think there's a process that has to happen, but the process starts with what? One thought. I am one thought away from changing a difficult situation into a wonderful situation. I am one thought away from starting that process. Just one. I don't have to figure it all out. I just have to take one. Doesn't that feel doable? I'm not saying 20 or 30 or 40 steps to get there. I'm not even saying 12 steps. You take the first one. And then after you take the first one, the second one shows up at the right time, right? And so on and so on and so on. But it's not going to happen until you take the first one. Finally, move on. Move on. Too much time is spent focusing on what has already been done. Remember last week I said, stop boring God? Remember? Stop boring God. Well, this is step 2. Don't just stop boring God. Move on. There is no upside to focusing on what has already taken place. That is done. Move on. Now, I don't recommend that you say this to someone else, because they will get offended thinking that you're not being compassionate. But in this room, I can tell you, move on. Hear me, everybody, myself included? And think for yourself, because no one else is qualified to think for you. So move on. It takes bravery, it takes courage, it takes being bold. Don't care about the mistakes, they're going to happen. If you're not making them, you're not moving. You're just one thought away from that. The interesting thing is you know exactly what it is. I bet you anything. You know exactly what it is to do that will make you move on. And trust this. Right after you take that first step, give it a little bit, the second step's going to pop up, and it's going to be, this is where I'm supposed to go next. But you can't see the second step yet because you haven't taken the first. Move on. Together, please. My life is my commitment to authenticity, and I give my creative self without reservation. And so ends your lesson. Thank you, everybody.
So I invite the ushers to come forward, please. So And those of you that are live streaming, there's a little give button there, a little heart. Please give to support the live streaming and also to support our center. And if not, if you're on your smartphone, you can text your offering to 760-292-2233. So let us prepare for this. And we know that we are the leaders of this center, each and every one of us, and we are also the good stewards. And that is why we support this center, so that we do make a difference in the world. So let us say together our offertory prayer, please. I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. I know my offering and my commitment to the center allows us to do great work in the world, and so it is.
1, 2, 3. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my joy. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my love. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
As they're finishing up the offering, I just want to tell you, I want to thank Lori from Child Help. And I want to really thank our congregation for everybody that stepped up and came forward. We had 30 people there supporting these children and being their special friend for the day. And I know many of you are going to sign up and be that special friend, but it was such an impact on these children's lives. It was such a wonderful, very enriching day. And I really want to thank everybody who showed up to be with those children yesterday. It made a huge impact on their lives. So you deserve a great round of applause. And so we are making a difference in the world, and I want you to know that your support does make a difference in the world, and your showing up makes a difference. So let's hold up our hands and bless our offering, and knowing that it comes back to us, pressed down and overflowing. And let us say, we bless this gift. We send it forth to heal and prosper. We know our offering and our commitment to the center allows us to do great work in the world, and so it is. All right. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our visitors. If you are here for the first time, we'd love to welcome you. We have a gift for you. Please don't be bashful. Stand up so we can give you your gift. Come on. Oh, there's one right there. Okay. Anybody else? No, that's it? I find that hard to believe. All right. Okay, here we go. Cheryl over here. There's somebody. And okay, well, what we're giving you is a CD holder with information about our center. And please stop by the foyer desk out here at the table and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. We welcome you. If you're from the Valley, come back, and if you're visiting, enjoy your visit here in our beautiful desert. This is our prayer team, and they're over in the Ohm room, which will be next to where the art show is. And they're there. If you're going through anything, please go in there and have them pray with you. We have miracles happen here every day, and they're over there if you want to set an intention or you're grateful for something wonderful that's happening. Go and pray and give thanks. There's a list out there. This is what's going on at the center this week. Remember, my class is not going Tuesday, and those of you that are going to Australia or you still want to go, we'll be having a meeting in here in the sanctuary. And have a wonderful, wonderful week. Don't forget the art show over there too. So let's just do a closing prayer. And so from this place of knowing that there's only God and nothing else, it is what is expressing everywhere. It is all that is seen and unseen. And so that creativity that is within each and every one of us, that is God speaking to us, giving us that idea of what is next in our journey. So with love and grace and acceptance, we accept those ideas and we take them and we create that mold and we put that consciousness in it and that acceptance of our good, and we accept the good in our life. We set that intention knowing that it is already done once we have that idea, and we move forward in that direction of knowing, in that peace, in that confidence, regardless of what may be going around on the outside. In the depths of our soul is that peace, is that light, is that love. And we know that it is blossoming and coming forth into our life. So we go forth this week in that awareness, in that love, in that light, touching everyone we meet with that consciousness of that divine nature that we are. So I give great thanks for all that we are, for who we are in this world, in this universe. And I just say thank you. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Lean on me